Have your blocks handy if you have them now. You can pull flush away from the sitting bones. Start to settle in. And just take a moment to try to come into the space and think about not letting the little details get you down. I mean, I know that that's been the case for me. I think there's so many big things going on that the little things are usually what set me off. Like I'm a monster at bedtime when it's time to put my kids to bed, because at that point I'm kind of done, but they never are. So that's my thing, my little thing that is difficult. Right? So I don't know what your little things are, but try to sit here and maybe identify those. And it could be in your practice, right? It might be little things that don't work for you here, or you feel like don't work for you, but they are working. It's just take a moment to try to identify one or two of those things. Close your eyes. And something might have come up like right away, like you know what your thing is, or things. And then once you've identified that, try to bring all of your awareness, right, with that somewhere in the background, but then bring your awareness back to your breath. Right? So try to put things into perspective again for yourself. So you have the breath, you're here in this space with your body. You have this time in this space, so just reminding ourselves to put it back into perspective as often as we can. And place the hands wherever you want them, so they can be on the thighs, you can bring them to the heart center, whatever you want. Wherever you can feel grounded and just at peace and connected with the breath. Couple more rounds right here. Remember to sit a little taller as you breathe in. And then exhale, try to soften a bit more. One more round here, inhaling fully. And you can let out an exhale through the mouth. And then just walk yourself out with your next exhale. So simple forward fold over your legs. Plant the hands. If you haven't started the music and you want to, you can do that now, unless you've already done it. Good, and then take a walk over to your right side. Anchor that left hip best you can. Good, and then walk it through center and bring it over to the left. Anchor the right hip. Good, and then walk it through center. Inhale, roll yourself up and tent the fingertips behind you. And just start to lift up to the chest. You're really squeezing the shoulder blades together on the back. You might lift the pelvis off the ground, but that's not expected. So just lifting up. Take another inhale. And then exhale, release, and shake out your legs. Give them a shake out. And then we'll come into Navasana. So it's an early Navasana. Take a moment and really bring the balls, the feet to the ground. Lift and lengthen. So find your foundation first and don't compromise that. And then if you can maintain that, you might lift the legs off the ground. You might extend the legs long or even the arms or maybe something in between. And it's okay if you don't feel the sitting bones completely, but you don't want to round back here. You want to really find a long spine here. Have a breath in. And exhale, one more inhale. And then exhale, release. Let's come to all fours. You can roll over your shins or just swing the legs behind you, whatever you want to do. And finding all fours, wrists beneath the shoulders, knees beneath the hips. Spread the fingers wide. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Just moving through cat-cow a few times. Exhales to round. Good. Inhales and exhales. And you can start to circle the hips and head, whatever you want to do. Maybe the hips just sway side to side. Good. And then next inhale, come to a neutral spine and then drop the hips to the heels, child's pose. Good. Inhale, roll yourself up one vertebra at a time. Good. You can walk the knees back together, and then we're going to rise up to stand on the shins. So breath of joy. You know this one. You can pat up your knees if you need to. Inhale, take a hold of the elbows and lift up through lower belly even more. And then exhale, fold. And we'll do that twice more. Inhale. Exhale. Again, inhaling up. And exhale. Good. And then you're going to inhale and reach your right arm out to your sides. You're reaching beyond your mat. So leaning into that right hand, and then left leg will extend. So your left foot extends beyond that left edge of your mat. You're reaching long. Good. And then exhale, pull that knee back in as you fold. Good. And we'll take the second side. So left arm reaches, right arm extends. So you're reaching out beyond yourself. And then exhale. Do that a few times. So over to the right, left foot extends, and then pull it in. And then over to the left. Good. And then pull it in. And then we'll come back to breath of joy. So inhale, rise up. Exhale. Twice more for breath of joy. Inhaling. Exhale. Last time, inhaling. And exhale, and then again, creep over to the right. So right arm reaches, left arm extends. You might even lift that leg up this time and then pull it in. So that's optional. Then reach over to the left. Maybe lift it as you pull it in. Let's go over to the right. And fold, and over to the left. And fold, and then breath of joy. So one more round like that. Inhale. Exhale, twice more. Inhaling. And exhale. Good. Inhale. And folding and reach to the right. Left leg extends. Maybe it floats. And then pull it in. And then over to the left. Pull it in. Over to the right. Pull it in. And then over to the left. And then find yourself back at center. Walk yourself out to all fours. Tuck the toes. Lift the heart. Exhale. Bring it back, downward facing dog. And then move around in your down dog. Try to settle into the heels a little bit more, so allow the heels to get a little bit heavier. Good. Full breath. And And exhale. And then inhale, roll it out to a plank. It can always be a half plank if you'd like. Really lift up through the thigh bones, press back through the heels, forward to the crown of the head. Take a breath in, and then exhale, lift the hips and belly, bring it back down, dog. Do that a few more times. Inhaling forward, and exhale. Twice more, inhaling, and exhale. Last time, inhale, and exhale. Good, and then inhale, rise up through the heels, bring the tops of the feet to the mat, drop the knees down to the ground, hips to the heels, child's pose. Inhale, look forward. Let's bring it into a low cobra. So sliding out onto your belly. Drop the shoulder blades down the back. Feel all 10 toes pressing into the mat, as close as you can. Take another breath, and then exhale. Release it back and into child's pose. And then inhale, lift the heels, look forward, exhale, feet to the hands, stepping or hopping it up. Ardha Uttanasana when you get there, and exhale, forward fold. Nod the head, yes. Shake it, no. And you have the option to maybe take a hold of the backs of the legs as you fold, or you can take the elbows. You can even bring your hands to your blocks here. And sometimes that's a really nice way to ground yourself. And 2 more breaths. Keep lifting up through the sitting bones, even if there's a slight bend in the knees. Good, and then bend your knees and roll yourself up really slowly. Good, inhaling, sweep the arms overhead. And exhale, hands to the heart. And we'll move through Surya Namaskar, inhaling, arms high. Exhale, forward fold. Lengthen your spine, breath in. Exhaling, stepping back to plank. Have an inhale here. Exhale, lower all the way or halfway, or knees, chest, and chin. Inhaling, cobra. Exhale, scoop the belly, lift it up and back, down dog. And 2 more breaths here. Inhaling. Good. Exhale again. Bring it back into perspective. Notice what is working. And inhale. And exhale. Good. Inhale, lift the heels, look forward. You can exhale, step, hop, or walk it up. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And exhale, forward fold. Good. Inhaling all the way up to stand. And exhale it back to the heart. Again, like that. Inhale, sweep the arms high. Exhale, forward fold into your legs. Lengthen your spine. Exhale back, stepping, or you can hop it back. Use that exhale to lower and feel the chest broaden as you lower. So try to open up across the heart center even as you move through this. Inhale, lifting upward facing or cobra. Exhale, come on back, down dog. Good, and then inhale, lift the heels, look forward. Exhale, stepping or floating. Lengthen your spine, and exhale, take it back. Inhaling up to stand, and exhale back to the heart. And keep moving like that. It's just creating a little more momentum as you move. Inhale up, exhale, fold. Inhale to lengthen, exhaling back, stepping or floating. Taking it through. Exhale back. Good, big breath. Good, and then inhale, lift the heels, look forward, exhale, stepping or hopping. Lengthen your spine and empty out. 1 more round, inhaling up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Good. Once more with your breath. So take it up on a breath in, and with your exhale, fold. Lengthen and take it back, stepping or hopping. Keep hugging the navel down into the spine as you lower through the entire time. Good. Next inhale, right leg reaches. The hips are square to start. And really feel lots of length to that inner right thigh. And then you can stack the hips open, bend through the knee. And extend your right leg long. Get square through the hips. Exhale forward, knee to nose. Inhaling three-legged. Exhale, knee to nose. One more time, inhale. Exhale forward and hold. Use your next inhale, try to lift higher. Step the foot in between the hands. Make sure that the right ankle is below the knee. You can bring your hands to blocks here, if that helps. Good, and then release your left knee down to the mat. Good, and we'll do the same thing we did on Tuesday, Wednesday. Place your hands to the top of the right thigh. Float up a little bit higher, and then just try to inflate the back of your body more. So you'll find you get a better opening through your psoas, the top of your left thigh. Have a breath there, and then maybe deepen in and extend the arms long. But they can stay on the thigh if you prefer. Long breath. And one more inhale. Good, and then exhale, plant the hands, and then step the left foot in for Paragasana. Left heel is down. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And exhale, forward fold. Press into the outer edge of your left foot. Glide that right hip back in space. One more breath. Good, and then look forward, standing splits. Soften through your right knee, and you can bring blocks with you or hands stay on the ground. Left leg floats. Good, keep extending through the heart, through the sides of your waist. Keep remembering to do that. Take a breath in, and then exhale. Let's float back into a lunge and come all the way up to crescent. So drive down into the right foot and bring it up. Good. Remember that you can always bend your left knee here. And have a breath. And then exhale, but let's release it. Step it back to plank as you breathe in, vinyasa or down dog. When you arrive, left leg floats. And hips are square. You can roll the ankle. Get heavy to that outer left hip and get longer through that left leg, and then stack the hips open. Good, extend your left leg long, square to the hips. Exhale, bring it forward, knee to nose. Inhaling three-legged. Exhale, bring it forward. One more time, inhaling. Exhale, knee to nose. Take a breath in, lift that left knee higher. Step the foot in between the hands. Make sure the ankle is below the knee, blocks if you need them. Right knee down to the mat. Good, and then bring your hands to the top of your left thigh right away. Float up a little bit higher. Good, and then inflate the back of the body with more breath. Good, and then try to maintain that lift through the lower belly as you deepen into the thigh, if you do. Arms might extend. Have another breath. And exhale, release it. Let's step up, Paragasana. So the belly really has to scoot to bring that right leg forward. Inhale, lengthen. Anchor your right heel more, and then exhale, forward fold. If you found that you're really rounding to the spine, again, blocks underneath the hands work, but also just take the moment to elongate again. And then maybe you won't fold as far,
but you'll have a long spine, so you actually get a better stretch in the end. So again, putting into perspective, right? You might not fold as far as you'd like, but if the quality is there, that's what counts in these shapes. Look forward. Let's come into standing splits. Walk it out. Right leg floats. And hips are square. Press the left hip and thigh back in space. Press out through the ball of the right foot. Take another inhale. And then exhale. Let's float it back into a lunge and come all the way up to crescent. And bend your right knee if that helps. And have another breath. And on your exhale, let it go. Step it back. Vinyasa, down dog, or rest. Good. Breath in. Exhale completely. Inhale, lift the heels, look forward. Exhale, step it or hop it. Lengthen your spine. And exhale, empty out. All the way up as you breathe in. Exhale, pull it back to your center. Again, bend to the knees, Utkatasana. Good. All right, really sit down into this one. This is one of those shapes that's like reminiscent of losing your shit. So try to breathe through it. Hug the thigh bones in toward one another, scoop the belly. Good. Soften the shoulders. Stay connected to your breath. Back of the neck is long. Take another inhale and exhale. One more inhale. And then exhale, fingertips to the ground and fold. Lengthen your spine. Breath in. Exhale, step it or hop it back. Taking it through. Inhale, right leg reaches. Exhale, step it up to the hands and come on up to crescent again. Good. Have a breath in. Then exhale, release your hands down to the mat. We're coming into side plank. So left hand outer edge of left foot or left knee to the ground. All right. Take a breath. And then you're going to exhale, step your right foot behind that left heel a bit, or if the knee's to the ground, just step the right foot back, and you're coming to sit down. So if your left knee was on the ground, you're going to extend your left leg long. You're here. Good. Breath in, and then exhale. Maybe take it into a fold. Good. And then inhale, roll it up. Bring your left hand back to where it was, and then press off. So send the weight into the right foot, press off, and pull the right knee into the nose. So I'm just taking it slowly this first time around. Inhale, right leg high, and then exhale, step that foot back in between the hands, warrior one. Inhaling up. Good. Press into the outer edge of your left foot. Good. Have a breath in. Exhale, open it out to warrior two. Good. And you might even look today to really see what you're doing. So is your right knee floating over your right ankle? Right? And if it's not going to cause harm, maybe you might try to do that if it's not happening. Right? Inhale, peaceful warrior. And have another big breath. Good. Exhale, let's bring it in to side angle. So you can bring the elbow to the thigh or hand down to the ground or block. Right, roll the right sitting bone underneath you. Turn that left palm down, reach that hand forward to the front of the room. Good. And then inhale, scoop the belly, come on up, warrior two. Exhale, cartwheel it down, step back to plank, vinyasa or down dog. So trying all of that to the second side. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, step it up, and then bring it up to crescent. Breath in. Exhale, hands down, side plank. So right hand and outer edge of right foot. Now you can also bring the right knee down to the ground. We'll accomplish the same thing. Good, and then maybe step that left foot. Well, really do step it back behind you. And you're gonna release the hips down to the mat. Good. All right, so you have to extend the right leg long and then maybe fold. So you just switch out your legs if that knee was down. Good, inhale, roll it up. Press in to the left foot, plant your right hand. So you're picking it back up and finding knee to nose. So left hand plants, pull the left knee into the nose. Inhaling, three-legged dog. Exhale, step it back up and bring it into warrior one. Good, find the outer edge of your right foot. Try to bring the right ribs and the right shoulder around to the front of the room if you can. Take another breath in. Exhaling, warrior two. Again, is that left knee floating over your ankle? And if not, can it be? And try to open up and liven up to the back of your body. Right, so it's easy to think about the front of the body, but try to give the back of your body some attention too. What is it saying? Inhale, open up, peaceful warrior. Breath in, and then exhale, side angle, elbow to the thigh or bring it down to the mat or block. Roll the left sitting bone underneath you, turn that right palm down, reach it forward. And then inhale, float back up, warrior two. Exhale, cartwheel it down, stepping it back. Up to you, vinyasa, down dog, or rest. Good. Breath in and exhale. And inhale, lift the heels, look forward, exhale, step it or hop it. Lengthen your spine and exhale, fold. And bend your knees, Utkatasana. And exhale, come on up to stand. And so with the breath again, inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, forward fold. Lengthen and exhale, stepping or hopping. Take it through. When you arrive to down dog, inhale, right leg high. Exhale, step it up to crescent. And exhale, release it down, side plank. So left hand, outer edge of left foot. Good, slide that right foot back, bend the right knee and lower. It's a right knee is bent, left leg is long, in case you have to switch it out. Forward fold. Inhale, walk it back, so left hand comes right back where it was. Press off the right foot, bring it around, three-legged dog. Inhaling, and exhale, step it forward, warrior one. Inhale up. Exhaling, warrior two. Good, peaceful. Then into side angle. And pick yourself back up to warrior two. And then release it down to the mat. Step it back, your choice. Second side, inhale, left leg is high. Exhale, bring it forward up to crescent. And exhale, release it down, side plank, right hand, outer edge of right foot or right knee. Again, slide the left foot back and then lower the hips. So if the knee was on the ground, you switch it out and fold. Good. Inhale, walk the right hand back to its place. So find your alignment, press off the left foot, plant the left hand, knee to nose. Three-legged dog, inhale. Exhale, step it up. Warrior one. Exhaling, warrior two. Good, peaceful. Into side angle. Good, float back up, warrior two. So scoop the belly. And then exhale it down to the mat. Bring it back. Up to you. Good, find a full breath. And again, inhale, lift the heels, look forward. Exhale, step or hop it. Lengthen your spine. And exhale, fold. Bend your knees, Utkatasana. And exhale, come on up to stand. Right, again, Utkatasana. And exhale, forward fold. Lengthen in your choice, stepping or hopping. You can also leave it out at any point. Take any variation you want. Right leg floats, and then step it up to crescent. Let's try this again. Exhale, release it. Side plank, left hand and left foot. And maybe the right leg comes up even higher before you step it back, maybe. Lower the hips, breath in to lengthen. Exhale to fold. That right arm might even come around to that right ankle. And then unravel, plant the left hand, press into the right foot. Right hand down, knee to nose. Inhaling, three-legged. Exhale, stepping it up. Warrior one. Exhaling, warrior two. Good, peaceful. And into side angle. Come all the way back up to peaceful warrior this time. Right, let's bring it into Ardha Chandrasana. So right hand to the mat or a block. As many steps as it takes to float that left leg. Good, big, big breath. Keep pressing the right hip and thigh back in space. Take another inhale. Exhale, float it back to warrior two. Good, reaching up and back. Good, let's cartwheel it down to the inside of right foot. And then bend the knees. You're gonna come all the way to the back of the mat. So follow your left foot around. Up to crescent. One more inhale. And then exhale, back to the inside, all the way back to the front of the mat. Breath in and step it back to plank and up to you. Left leg floats when you arrive. Step it up to crescent, inhaling. And exhale, release it. Right hand, right foot. And maybe the left leg floats higher this time. Woo! Good. And then lower it down. Use the belly, take your time. Good, and then fold. So bend in the left knee if you're not. Inhale, unravel, right hand to the earth. Press into that left foot, bring it around. Scoop the belly, knee to nose. Inhaling, three-legged dog. Exhale, bring it forward, warrior one. And open up, warrior two. Peaceful, throw it up and back, into side angle. And then right back up to peaceful. So just find some momentum and breath. Ardha Chandrasana, reaching long. Maybe one big step, maybe lots of little steps. Again, but not focusing on how you have to do it or if it seems unorthodox, but really focusing on the positivity of how you're able to do it. Like, so what did you need to do to make it happen? Have another big breath in. Then exhale, soften through your left knee. Let's float back, warrior two. Keep moving around until you find it. Peaceful. Cartwheel down to the inside of left foot, and then travel around to the back of your mat. Find your lunge, come on up to crescent. Exhale here, one more inhale, maybe lift the chest a little bit higher. Exhale, bring it down, and then back around. Low lunge, step it back to your plank, or left leg can hover here. We'll meet in down dog. Take a breath in, lift the heels, Look forward, exhale, step or hop. Lengthen your spine. And then exhale, empty out. And open up the feet hip width apart here. Give yourself some space, and you can keep the hands where they are, but if you'd like, you can take yogi toe lock. So first 2 fingers and thumbs around the big toes. And then do take a nice big bend in your knees, whatever you're doing. Lengthen your spine more, so imagine your bottom ribs getting closer to the knees. They probably can. And then press down through the feet and lift up through the hips. Few more breaths. Good. Then bend your knees, release the toes, and roll yourself up. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Good. Have another extra inhale there. Really lift up through low belly. It might even turn into more of a back bend. And then exhale it back to the heart. Good. And the next inhale, step your left foot back behind you into a lunge. Good. Scoop the belly, hands to the heart. Good. Take a big breath in and then exhale. We're going to twist. So hook the left elbow to the outside of right thigh. Good. Keep hugging that right hip back in space and then into your midline. Left knee can come down to the mat if you want that extra support. If you feel pretty good, maybe open the arms wide. So left fingertips might be able to come down to the ground, somewhere around the outside of the right ankle. Good. Have a breath. And then exhale, release the twist, coming back into Ardha Chandrasana. So reach the right hand out and then open up that twist. Good. Breath in. You might even take Shavasana, bending the left knee, finding the foot. Good. Release the foot if you have it. We're going to float back to Warrior Two again. Good. Have an inhale and exhale. Good. Inhale, flying warrior, lengthen your right leg, spin the toes in, plant the palms together, and exhale, forward fold into your legs. You might be able to walk the hands back through the legs. Good, and then walk it back out. Let's set up Kali. Spin the toes out, heels in. It's really feeling the ankles below the knees. Roll yourself up. And exhale, sit a little bit deeper. Good, find that outward rotation from the hips. And again, let the neck be loose. So notice if you're trying to hold yourself up with your neck or your jaw. Let that go. Good, and then inhale it back up. Spin the toes back in, and then fold. And if you want to bend the knees on your way down, that's perfectly fine. Roll it around top of your mat. Once more, standing splits, left leg floats. Breath in. And then exhale, bend through your knees. Bring that left foot down to meet the right. So again, we're going to take yogi toe lock, right hand, right, first 2 fingers and thumb around the right big toe. And I'll come around to face you. You're going to start to roll yourself up. And this might be it. But any amount, you might start to extend that right leg. Good, that's it. And if it means bending your knee to have a long spine and a lifted heart, bend the knee a little bit. The length will come. Left arm can extend, take a breath in. And then exhale, release it. Shake it out for a sec. And then just swing that right leg back behind you, second side. Lift up through low belly, hands to the heart, take a breath in. And then exhale, twist right elbow to the outside of left thigh. Use that inhale to lengthen your spine. Exhale, navel back, left ribs up. Your right knee can come to the mat. If you did on the first side, maybe the arms open wide. You'll find if you open the arms wide, you really can't depend on your lower back, which is a good reminder. It's really the rib cage that's rotating. Good. And then release the twist, take your time, Ardha Chandrasana. So release that twist completely and then reach out to the left hand. And then stack everything open. Really flipping that entire twist inside out. Exhale, soften to the left knee, walk it back into warrior two. Good, one more breath here. Inhale, lengthen your left leg, spin the left toes in, flying warrior. Find your feet, exhale, forward fold. All right. So you can always hang with the forward fold. If you want a tripod headstand, walk the hands back, crown of the head to the mat. So you want those 3 points. And then maybe floating up. The knees can also rest on the backs of the arms if you're somewhere in between. And you can play with a leg variation. You might bring the soles of the feet together, bend through the knees. Maybe. Then you can take the legs wide again. And then if the legs are wide, maybe you can float them back up. Good, and then bring it down. Good, and then if you've come down from a headstand, walk it out. Just give the head a gentle roll. And then when you're ready, spin the toes out, heels in. And then roll yourself up into Kali. Breath and exhale. Bend to the knees, hands to the heart. And maybe peel the heels off the mat. Good, have another inhale. Exhale, release the heels, come on up. Spin the toes back in and fold. Remember, you can bend the knees here. Good, soften to the knees, follow it around, low lunge. Last time, standing splits. Walk yourself out. See how much space you have. Good, have a breath in. And then exhale, bend through both knees. Right foot meets the left. Fold for a sec, and then left hand to left foot. So yogi toe lock, first 2 fingers and thumb, big toe. Roll yourself up. So think about that stacking up of the spine. It's just like you're rolling through the spine. Good. Soften the shoulders. And then any amount, you can start to extend. Make sure you're breathing. Don't let this be the thing to stop you from breathing, just because it feels big. It's just a part of the larger practice. It's one piece. And then exhale, let it go, and shake it out. Go to inhale, sweep the arms high. Exhale, forward fold. Good, lift the heart, breath in, and then exhale back. You can step it or hop it, vinyasa or down dog. Good, have an inhale. And then exhale, release your knees down to the ground for child's pose. Have a few breaths. Good, adjust as you need. All right, and then roll yourself up. You can sit back on the heels. And we're gonna try one more arm balancy thing. So we're gonna work on side plank and maybe add a variation if you feel comfortable. But starting on the right side, the right hand and outer edge of right foot. Make sure that the right wrist is beneath the shoulder. You might just fall right out of it immediately like I did. Right, so here, or the right knee can stay on the ground. And you can still do the variation with the right knee on the ground, really. So whichever you're doing, slide the shoulder blades down the back, really feel a lift through the belly and the hips. And then if you want to move on, you're going to bend the left knee and hug it into the chest, and you might just hold on to the knee. That's a lot, just there. If you feel like you have some space, you might wiggle around and take yogi toe lock with the left big toe. And I'm bending my right knee a little bit to get it. You can do that. And then maybe extend. And breathe. And then rest. So something like that, something in there. Ask questions if you have them. Otherwise, I'll walk you through it again. We'll do right and then left. So whenever you're ready, you can start from plank and then roll over to your right hand. And remember, the right knee can stay on the ground, and you can do all of that with that right knee down. Once again, scoop the belly, maybe hug that left knee in. Maybe reach for the big toe. And then release it whenever you're ready. I'm gonna come a little bit closer so I can see. Good, and then we'll move on to the second side in a sec, but if you're still in the middle of something. Good, it's a lot. And also, it's a lot. Also remember, if you are trying to extend your leg, sometimes it's easier to forget when we turn ourselves in different directions, but if the rotation of your hip is here, like if it stops there, you're doing the same thing when you're in your arm balance. So don't think that if just because you're on your side that your foot's going to extend straight up to the ceiling, because for most of us, our turnout is not all of that. So it's probably going to be a little bit closer to the ground. So just keep that in mind. Find your own turnout. Don't try to get crazy with your hips. Yeah, because I don't have that kind of turnout. So plant yourself into plank. We'll try the second side. Left hand outer edge of left foot or left knee. Remember, that's an option. Shoulder blades down the back, lift up to the lower belly. Again, bend the right knee and maybe take it. Good, and then maybe reach for the big toe. And you might not have to bend that knee to find it. Maybe you really reach. Just play around with your edge and extend. Right, so you'll notice you can kind of see my heel because my foot is not going to direct completely to the ceiling because this is my turnout. That's where it ends. And then rest when you're ready. Ask questions if you have them. Good. Good, and then rest whenever you need. Shake it out a little bit because that's a lot on the side body. In fact, let's come into Paragasana because we do have time. So pat up your knees if you're feeling at all sensitive in your knees. And then we'll step the right leg out to the side. Try not to lift that right hip, so let it fall. And then just open it up. Good, and then you can drop the hips back and then just fold it in for a moment. The hands are right out through center. And you can slide the hands back a little bit closer to the body and just gently pull that right knee back in its place. And then left leg extends. Inhale, roll yourself up to stand. And make sure you're not lifting that left hip too high. And then exhale. Whew. And tip. Another breath. And then exhale. Fold, fold, fold. Walk it back out through center. Just take a moment, just get long through both sides of your waist. Good, and then slide that knee back in. And then let's set up pigeon. And so pigeon on the right side. If for any reason, your hips, your back are not happy these days, remember that you can always take pigeon on your back so that right ankle can come to the top of left thigh. Anytime you ever want to take that variation. Otherwise, you can bring that right knee and shin forward. Tuck the back toes. Swing that left hip around as much as you can. And then exhale, forward fold. And then kind of come back to that moment at the beginning of class. So maybe be reminded of your things, those little things. And direct your breath to those places, those things. Good. And then when you're ready, inhale, roll yourself up. And if you need to, bring the right foot a little bit closer and tuck the back toes. Maybe bend through the left knee and reach for that foot. This is another place where you can prop up your right hand with the block so that you're not sort of leaning and pulling. Just elevate yourself a little bit. And know that you can always keep the left toes tucked as well here. And breathe there. And then when you're ready, release that foot and come on back, down dog. Move any way you want in between sides. Shake out your hips, shake out the legs. And then when you're ready, we'll bring the left leg forward, or if you're on your back, left ankle to top of right thigh. Yeah, tuck the back toes, lengthen your spine, try to soften both hips down to the mat as much as you can. And then when you're ready, if you're ready, forward fold. Try to soften a little bit more with every exhale. Good, and then inhale, gently roll yourself up. You can tuck the back toes and just balance yourself out again, and then maybe bend the right knee and reach for that foot. Soften the jaw. And then exhale, release. And then come on back, downward facing dog or wherever you want to be. And shake it out. Good. Let's make our way to our back. So you can step or hop to a seat or just come through a child's pose, whatever you want to do. And lower down. And have an exhale there. Good. And then lift the feet off the mat. So again, the shins are parallel to the ground. Just have a 90-degree angle with the legs there. Scoop out the belly. So really press the sacrum into the ground. Extend the arms long. Then exhale, lift the chest and shoulders. And we're just going to breathe here. You're holding the shape, but you continue to breathe. Two more breaths. See if you can lift a little bit higher, maybe. And then exhale, release, hug the knees in gently. And then release the feet to the mat, and then we'll come into bridge. Arms at your sides, ankle below the knees. Good. Press into all four corners of your feet, and then float it up. And try to find a place of ease here. I know that it's hard work, but just try to locate some ease where you can. Good. And then exhale, release the hips down to the mat. And so sometimes kind of getting through those moments that push us beyond our edge, it's really about locating our ease. And so maybe finding something humorous about the moment. Or as my mom says, she just tells me don't sweat the small stuff. And it's actually some of the best advice she's ever given me, but I often forget it. Right, so another back bend, right, maybe a bridge, maybe full wheel. Make sure your feet are parallel so don't let the toes spill out. Good, and then inhale up. And exhale all the way down. And let the knees sway. And let's take one more back bend. So you can take bridge, you can take full wheel, or you can take a restorative bridge. So that means a block, a book, anything under the sacrum. It can even be a blanket so that you fold it over a few times just to support a little lift in the low back. And then you can even roll the shoulders underneath you even more to open up through the chest. And so then you really can locate some of the ease in it. There's a little less work involved. You can focus on that heart opening. And then start to make your way down. If you're supported, you might have a little extra breath there. If you did have a block underneath the sacrum, just move it off to the side. And then again, knees sway. Then gently hug them into the chest again and just move around gently. If you're taking figure eight, just make sure you try to move in both directions. Good, and then keep hugging the right knee into the chest. Extend your left leg long. Good, extend your right leg long so you can interlace your fingers, the back of the thigh or the calf. You might be able to reach up for yogi toe lock again. So that's an option. Good, and then maybe you lift the chest and shoulders. Again, this might be enough. You might be here, foot might be just facing the ceiling, just finding some length right there. Breath in. And exhale, bend to the right knee, and let's twist, drape that right leg over to the left side. Gazing toward the right hand. And bring it back through center. And then switch it out. Hug the left knee into the chest. Drop that left hip away from the shoulder. So maybe you're lifting, try to slide it down. Good. And then extend the left leg long. And you might be here. Maybe you can invite it a little bit closer. Maybe big toe. Shoulders can lift. And then exhale, release it. Bend the left knee and gently twist. And gently bring it back to center. And you can roll over to one side. And we'll bring it up to our seat. Good. Pull flesh away from the sitting bones. Good. And then take a moment, bend to the knees so the heels are sort of digging into the mat, and lengthen your spine. So you plant the hands to the shins and lengthen your spine. Good. And then just release that a bit. You'll extend your left leg long and walk your right foot in a little bit more. So we kind of alluded to this earlier when we were rolling around everywhere. Extend your right arm high. You're going to reach that right arm forward. So this might be it. And you can tent the left fingertips, so you're sort of leaning into them a bit. But maybe you inwardly rotate that right arm and it can come to the outer right hip. And maybe the left hand comes around and binds. Good. And then you're just lengthening your spine. Maybe you can fold a little bit more. Again, if that's not happening, this is good too. Or maybe you can plant that right hand if you're somewhere in between. And then inhale, unravel gently. Good, and shake it out. And then lean into the right hip. So you're going to roll on to the right hip. Just open up right ribs there. And then roll it back to center, and we'll try the second side. So I'll flip it around. So you're bending to the left knee, right leg is long. Attempt the right fingertips, you're using them for support. Left arm reaches, and then reach forward. So that arm is at the inside of the left leg. And then if you have more space, inwardly rotate. Then you might just bring the fingertips to the ground. Maybe you can tuck them into the hip crease, and maybe the right arm can find your fingertips. Good, breath in to lengthen. Exhale, forward fold any amount. Good, and then roll it out and up. Extend both legs long, and then you'll lean into the left hip. So you're on the side of that left thigh, and it's a little twist there. Good, and then release it back to center. And then last forward fold, Paschimottanasana. So pull flesh away from the sitting bones. Try to sit up nice and tall. Inhale, lengthen your spine, and exhale, forward fold. You can hang here as long as you want, really. Just try to find a place of stillness. And whenever you're ready, you can roll yourself up and set yourself up for Shavasana. So releasing all the way to your back. Use a blanket to cover up, or you can roll up a blanket and throw it under your knees, which is also nice to support the low back. You can start to deepen your breath. As you do, find some movement. We'll go through the fingers and toes. And when you're ready, bend your knees and roll over to your right side. Good, and then come on up to your seat. Just find a comfortable place to be. Right, and notice the shift in your body and your mind, the space you've created
And try to come back to this memory, right, when you need it the most. Lock all of it into your muscles, into your mind, into your spirit. All right, so when the other things do creep up, you can ground yourself in that knowledge and in that memory. And bring the hands together at the heart and bowing to each other. Namaste. Thank you.